Yo, what's up with the great people out there in the world? Man, we got to talk about it, man. What's happening with my homie R. Kelly, man? Like and subscribe. Yo, we got Azriel Clary, which is one of his ex-girlfriends or whatever. And she's kind of been shade tripping him recently. Now, she actually was a girl who was on his side at one point, and she was claiming to be his girlfriend and sticking with the bro. And then all of a sudden she flipped it. Now you know why she flipped it, because they got kicked out that Trump Tower, and now it's about paying your rent and R. Kelly in jail. So how you gonna pay your rent and have connection to somebody who locked up? So she flipped the script, and she claimed all the negative stuff. But it's been some text messages that came out between her and her mother. And while that's not necessarily big, I think I hear a lot of people claiming that that's going to take this case into another direction. But if you look at it from a lawyer perspective, it shouldn't, because some of the stuff they say is kind of offbeat. It's foul. You could think that they kind of set him up. You could see it from that perspective of people saying that it seemed like they was trying to set R. Kelly up. He's rich. He's a multimillionaire. So they was trying to figure out a way to get money from him to try to get him to accept a girl. So the mother was making messages saying, little slick shit like, you know what I mean? Don't look like that. You dress him like you dress him like a young girl. You dress like a grown woman. He wants you to be a young girl. So the mother was making all these little statements inside these text messages, and it would seem like the mother was trying to push the girl on him. But as I discussed with somebody before, that is not going to be really something, in my opinion, that can be used in court, because a mother is going to have a conversation with her kid about a man in any regard, and it don't. If she's not saying nothing nefarious, she's saying what any mother would say. Hey, if you want that man, then this is what you do to get him. If you're trying to bend this man's face, she's young. So the girl is young. She's 17, 19, 21. She's not old enough to really know every kind of thing that you're supposed to do with a guy, especially somebody who's smitten by her. So the mother is giving advice versus giving uh, leading information to try to get the girl to make a move in one direction or the other. And so that's why I don't think it's going to be so where it's going to be a pre-trial or a new trial. I don't see that, because people talk to their kids all the time. And all the girl would have to come to court and say is, I didn't take my mother's advice. When my mother was texting on that phone, I didn't fucking follow none of that. Then what? Well, how was she coerced? How was the mother's text messages something that was an impact inside the relationship between Azriel and R. Kelly? It would be no way to prove that. So how could there even be a case from some text messages? They do use text messages against people, but it's almost something that's setting up a situation prior. Like it's a this happened and then that happened and then the phone call or whatever connected to two or three. But it's not necessarily a text message, rather connected to two or three. But it's not necessarily in this regard, because people gonna talk to their mother about stuff and they're gonna say, "Hey, mom, this guy like me. I'm trying to see what to do next." The mother gonna say this, that, and the third. Now, if she was saying, "Ma, I know where he hid the pack of this," or if he was saying, "Ma, I think it's somebody hidden in the basement. They stole this and got it over there." These gonna lead to evidentiary patterns or something that's gonna be physical that you can see. That's just circumstantial, because you can't even really prove that the girl actually listened to the mother. And all the mother got to do is say, I was saying that stuff because I was drunk. I was saying that stuff because I was drinking. I was high that day. I do drugs. I need to get help on it. There's too many ways to say that that couldn't be legitimized, because you have no proof to know that the girl did those things with R. Kelly. What she said, did you go in the room? Did she go in the room and fix her hair when the mother said, your hair look whack, your hair look terrible? Did she go in there and fix her hair? We wouldn't know. All she got to do is say, I didn't even see these text messages. When I read these messages, it was at 3 in the morning. My phone was up. We was doing this, that, and the third. I never even saw these messages. So to prove that that stuff was real, you'd have to prove that the girl paid attention to what her mother was saying. You'd have to prove that the girl looked at her mother's advice after she took the mother's advice to go on a date with the guy. She could have went just like a rom-com. As soon as she saw the guy, threw the cell phone away and was like, I'm with R. Kelly. I'm not listening to my mother no more. You really just don't know. Now, it is kind of foul that they were talking this stuff with our, and we found out about it. That's more foul than anything, because we would have never really known this stuff had it not leaked out or got out. But technically, you can talk to your mother about anything. You can have a conversation with your mom, especially about knowledge or information that you're really not familiar with. And your mother could send you messages if she think you need this information. If she figure in her mind, you might not need this information in your thinking, in your life. You might be like, I don't need you to tell me this, and your mother might be like, yes, you do. So it's no real knowing. It's no real factuality behind it. That's my opinion. And the fact that they did that with Kels, he still put himself in a situation because he let 30 years go by without throwing the gauntlet down saying, you motherfuckers is lying on me. I never do nothing like that. I'm not like that. I don't kick it like that. He stayed quiet. He stayed so quiet that he allowed people to make opinions and thinking patterns behind him, and then he has to deal with becomes because you put yourself in such a indelible situation that nobody got to listen to you say, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do this. This didn't really happen." Well, nobody got to listen to this. All they got to listen, look at you, and say, "No, yes, you did. You never said you didn't in 30 years. All they've been seeing you with is teenagers and young women and these girls and their mothers saying that that's what you wanted, that's what you was after." So it's really no real, in my opinion, way of knowing if the girl even read the messages. You know what I'm saying? And if she did, and the messages got out there, how would we know if she thought the mother's advice from those messages was something she should have implemented in her life? I keep saying it over and over. I just don't think that that is a good parameter to get his case overturned. They need something more. I think R. Kelly needs somebody like one of these governors or mayors or somebody like, I'm sorry, governors or somebody like that to be like, look, we're going to pardon him because we don't think that all this stuff was true. Like it's a lot of loose stuff happened without about his case. Is that going to happen? I wouldn't know. The future is unknown by everybody. That it would be seemingly that if he did get out, that it would be a moment like that somebody would just come and say, you know what, we're not keeping him in jail on this. We letting R. Kelly out, and then he springs out of prison. I believe that because just thinking that he gonna get out because of text messages or a preacher, a new trial, and there's all those other people who could say they was accosted or disrespected by him. I think it's like 4 or 5 of the girls that claimed he did this, and that's the ones they used in his trials. Then he got different states that got him caught up. So if he get loose in one state, they could snag him in another state. He really got himself into just one of those precarious situations. And I would almost look at it like that's just the price of fame. Like he sacrificed his life to be an entertainer, and that's like a part of it. Even though it's almost like that sell your soul to the devil thing. After 30 years of being a successful singer, now all of a sudden the devil want their back. They want it back. They want theirs back. Not saying he did that because that's a myth and all that's not real that I know of. But it just seems like that. Like, damn, you were so successful and living at such a level, and then all of a sudden everything is snatched from you, and that's it. And now you just gotta go back to sitting in a prison cell for the rest of your life in 30 years. Even if he did 5 years, that's 25 more years. It's like, whoa, 20. I'll be 75 years old, and he older than me, so that means he'll be 80 something, if not 80. So it'll be like that. It's crazy, but God bless everybody in the situation, and y'all let me know what y'all think about that story. This your boy Hood. We signing off, and I'll holler at y'all in a minute. Peace.